Hey, what's going on YouTube? We just looked at Regina's fish room, and now we're going to look at Eric Bodrock's. Again, he's the owner of All Oddball Aquatics. And Eric, say hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Eric, what are we looking at right now?
It's a glass cage tank, 240 gallon. It's just kind of an odds and end display tank we have in the game room. I inherited this from a good buddy of mine, Stefan Tanner, of you may know from Swiss Tropicals.
Oh yeah.
Pour it foam claim. But he was moving from Columbus to Rochester. I helped him move, and he didn't want the hassles of taking this with him. You know, move an extra 6 guys to move it. So it ended up in my game room.
Hey,
so,
nothing at all wrong with that.
I got that right. Anybody out there got one near Pittsburgh? You want to get rid of them? Let me know.
No, I got you. So this is your first room. Now, what do you normally keep in here?
Yeah, this is, I call it my Pleco room. I use an little space oil heater. I heat the room up, I keep it closed, all the tanks are covered. Keep the room temperature about 84. If you would hear, you'd be sweating, and you would know.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
And most of the Plecos like a little bit warmer.
Is that a zebra?
Now these are leopard frogs, the L134.
What's this one right here?
Oh yeah, there's one zebra in there.
Yeah.
I was breeding the heck out of zebra Plecos about 4.5 years ago. And Regina and I moved into this home. We actually bought this house because of the basement for the fish rooms. So, you know, do your fish run your life? Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
But once we moved, my zebras quit breeding. I have, I believe, 26 adults, some fry I grew up, a bunch of wilds, and I haven't been able to find the trigger to get them to go. And,
Zebras are tough.
Tried different things, trying to move them around.
Now, what are these guys?
These are a Picoltia species Rio Paru. I acquired these from Stefan Tanner, brought them back from Europe. And something different. You know, I specialize in doing unique and unusual fish. Another one from Stefan, ancestor species honeycomb, spectacular fish.
Yeah. How about this? Explain what you're doing with all the caves and everything like that.
Yeah,
the driftwood.
Your Plecos are all cave spawners, so I offer them a different size openings, different textures, different shapes. Some of the backs of the caves are pointed, some are squared off. You need to let them, in nature, they're going to pick the cave, what feels good, you know, what's appropriate for them.
So the more different types of caves you have, the better?
Exactly. Give them just, you know, a lot of my philosophy in breeding fish is be the fish. If anybody's ever seen any of my talks, they know, be the fish.
Yeah.
And that all comes from, you know, sit back, close your eyes, get a glass of wine or a beer or whatever, you know, and think you're the fish swimming around in your natural habitat. What's the substrate? What am I eating? Who's around me? What goes on all day long?
What's this guy, man? He's gorgeous.
These are a dwarf cichlid. These are a Laticara Uruguay bucklecough. Hit them right with a light, and you'll see how pretty they are. That's a female. Move to the right, hits that male.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, these are pretty spectacular fish. Nice little dwarf cichlid.
That's pretty.
These are some
you got some mollies.
There's the red eye. Those are a high fin swordtails actually.
Okay. Yeah,
wasn't very successful with them. I'm not much of a live bear guy. I play around with some of the wild types, but they were pretty. I figured I'd throw them in there and give the Plecos a dither fish. You know.
Yeah.
Plecos live in the bottoms of the tanks. In the wild, they live on the bottom, along with Corys. And in nature, again, be the fish. These fish, the bottom-dwelling fish in nature have all kinds of fish above them.
Yeah.
When the fish above them disappear, it's usually because there's a predator.
Oh, so then they're going to hide more.
Yeah, that means the Plecos, hey, if they're hiding, I better hide too.
That's a great point.
So, you know, again, be the fish, throw some dither fish in if you can't get them going. Those are L107 ancestris that you're looking at there. These guys, the neat thing about them is that a lot of ancestris fry, when they're juveniles, are black with white spots. And as they mature, they lose the white spots. The L107s, they keep the bright snow white dots on them even through maturity. It's a very high desirable fish. Here's these are L33s in this tank here. These are kind of a big hypencistris. Spawn pretty regularly from me. I get about 30 or 40 from a batch of fry from them.
Very cool. Now you breed all your own fish, right? You don't import or anything like that.
At All Oddball Aquatics, it's all tank raised fish. Every great once in a while, we may get some fish from a hobbyist or a friend of mine that spawns something, and I'll move those for them.
Yeah.
But, yeah, 99.9% of the fish is stuff that is raised in-house here.
Very cool.
And you know, there's not many people that can claim that you know, everything they sell is tank raised. You know, they're their kids. We raised them. You know.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Now, what do you do for filtration on all your tanks?
As you can see, right, you're looking at hitting some port foam right there. A lot of my tanks are set up with the Swiss Tropicals port foam, magnum filters, types of filters. I still do use some ATI sponge filters. Some of you guys may remember about 10 years ago my claim to fame in TFH magazine, that half-page ad. Eric Bodrock uses ATI sponge filter, so should you.
Yeah.
Rob just seen that ad for the first time yesterday.
I didn't even know it was him.
And Rob goes, "Is that you?" Like, kind of what happened to you in 10 years, you know? But that's what happens when you hit the wall.
That's what happens. No, that's funny. So now you only use the Matten filters?
Most of the tanks are Matten filters, and there's some smaller ATIs. If a tank is set up basically for long term, I put the Matten filters in it. If it's something where I have fry in it that they may have been there for 3 or 4 weeks or a month, then I use the ATIs.
Very cool. Now you said you did that ad for the API. Now, what were you doing when you did that ad?
I had a facility. I had a 7,300 square foot facility. It was a hatchery and a retail outlet. We were doing. We had about 600 tanks in the facility, and it was too big. It was eating up too much of my time. I've been doing this since I'm 53 years old right now.
Wow, you couldn't even tell. I had no idea.
He's trying to save face now.
Yeah.
But I was in the market when I was 20 years old. 1982, I started my first shop, and I find it now hard. Things have changed. The industry has changed so much. And you have to work a whole lot harder to make a whole lot less. So I decided to move it to a home-based hatchery. Regina was one of my customers, so I knew she was a hardcore fish geek. And we hit it off, and you know, fish is a big part of our life. It's probably the biggest part of our life together.
Yeah, it's good when you can find someone that actually shares that passion with you.
Yeah, for sure. My life from top to bottom is all fish.
No other wife would let you have 250 tanks in your basement.
Yeah, got that right. Got that right.
Now these are all fry grow-outs, right?
Yeah, these 2 rows of 10-gallon tanks. There's 27 10-gallon tanks here. These tanks are all drilled on the bottom. They run through a central little filter on the bottom. But the key is that they have, it runs through a UV sterilizer. And so the fish are living in a big bulk of water. I siphon off the debris on the bottom, do about a 50-60% water change twice a week on the system. Once a lot of the fish you see that are about an inch in size is selling size. That's the product that goes. Okay. So rarely do the fish stay here any longer than this, that they're gone, and then smaller fish come in and grow them out.
Now we've been talking about you breeding and selling. Now, how would they get a hold of you if they wanted to buy some stuff?
Probably the best way, if you go to Aquabid. My company name is All Oddball Aquatics. My username is that, All Oddball Aquatics. Yep. Is one word. That's my username.
Gotcha.
You can reach me through there, or sales at All Oddball Aquatics.
Okay. And I'll put all that in the description too, so you guys don't have to worry about that.
Appreciate that. And
let's go on over to the next room.
That sounds good. I advertise on there. I have pictures of all the fish, and you can see basically my selling price on there. Again, a lot of the fish that I reproduce are actually oddball fish, so they don't produce a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't sell to shops because I can't supply them with 100 or 200 or something.
Exactly.
I'm getting 30 or 40 or something. And again, that's what I want to do. That's it. If you can produce a fish and you're getting 1,000 of them, then they're really not an oddball fish because they're pretty abundant.
Now, Regina told us you guys mainly do catfish.
Yeah, that's my specialty. My claim to fame, I guess, would be the Corys cats. I've spawned close to about 70, 75 species of different Corys.
And then you're always traveling, right?
Yeah. We've been to Europe quite a few times. We've been to Germany. We've been to the UK. Regina and I both spoke at the Catfish Study Group Convention in 2012, and we're going back next year, 2016, to speak. We spoke
real quick question. Sorry. A lot of people are going to ask, what kind of substrate is this?
The sand that in a lot of these tanks is sand that I get from a local stream.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a trout stream, so I know the water quality is pretty healthy. And again, Regina being the perfect girl, hey babe, you want to go to the get a dinner and a movie, or do you want to get a 6-pack of beer and go to the stream and get sand? Let's go get sand.
You're making everyone jealous now.
Yeah. So we'll go there and have some fun, drink some beer, and sift some sand and bring it back. And we get a lot of compliments on it.
Gotcha. You were talking about speaking as well.
Yeah, I give talks again all through the U.S., Canada. I was in Norway, gave a talk. I love it. It's something I'm comfortable with. I like getting the information out to people. You can probably even hear me now talking as fast as I can. I'm trying to get you as much information as I can. Because Rob said he could only talk for like 10 minutes.
I know, we're coming up on 10 minutes now.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Now explain this system real quick, this is
one of my Corys breeding systems, and it's 15 10-gallon tanks. The top row drips into the bottom row, drips into the middle row to the bottom row into a little filter. And the idea is, if you look up here real quick, you can see these are bad eggs, but they're Corys eggs.
Yep.
So when these fish were spawning, they're releasing pheromones and everything into the water. It circulates through the whole system.
Oh, and they induce some
right. So if there was a group of fish over in here that were ready to spawn, hopefully the pheromones would kick them off.
Wow.
So it's one of a great trigger to use.
Now you only have what? 15 in this
different
system?
species, yeah. The ideal way to breed the Corys is individual species.
Gotcha.
They won't cross, but it's best to keep them by themselves.
Now, do you like central systems? A lot of people won't do them because they're afraid of contaminant and different things like that.
Well, there's two things. This system with my Corys are fish that I've had for 5-10 years.
Okay.
So I know the fish are healthy. They're not carrying anything. And I do not have a UV sterilizer on it. But that's only because I know that history of the fish.
Yeah, so you've had them long enough to where they don't have any parasites.
Any other system, you need to put a UV sterilizer on it.
Okay.
And more importantly, you need to replace that bulb regularly, yearly.
So you think every year you should replace that bulb?
Yeah, don't take the chance. A lot of people will let it go and say, hey, I don't have any problems. And when you have the problem is when you come down one day and everybody's covered with ick or velvet or something.
Yeah, no.
And you say, oh, man, I should have changed the bulb earlier, and you didn't. So it's neglect,
Very cool. Was there anything we missed that you really want to talk about?
I'll tell you one thing that everybody oohs and ahs about.
Okay.
Let's run back to this other room real quick. You still got that flashlight?
Yep.
Leopard frogs. Rob showed you some of the adults when we first started to talk here, but check this out. Are these guys just beautiful?
Oh, you got a ton too.
Yeah.
And these are all you bred them all yourself?
Yeah, these are all tank raised and just an outstanding fish. There's a lot of people say this is like the new zebra Pleco.
Gotcha.
But
and you are selling these right now?
Yeah, this is a $30 size. They're about 1.5 inches, 1 3/4, pushing 2 inches total length, and just a good looking fish. And so that's pretty cool. A lot of people just ooh and ah when they see that.
Awesome.
Rob scanned through these tanks, and you probably didn't see a whole lot of fish swimming around. But that's what happens when you breed Plecos and Corys. They're all under rocks, taking refuge in caves. It's bad as Regina's driftwood cats. You walk by, look at Plecos, you see their butts sticking out of a cave. So,
gotcha.
You really kind of got to appreciate the fish.
Yeah. So that's another reason why you add some top level fish that are going to swim around.
And I do a lot of rainbow fish too. I do a fair amount of killifish, but a lot of rainbow fish. A lot of unusual and odd rainbow fish. A lot of you guys may know Gary Lang. He's out of Missouri. He's top rainbow fish guy in the U.S., one of the top in the world. And I'm pretty good friends with Gary, and I get a lot of a good stock from Gary. So,
perfect.
Beautiful fish.
All right, Eric. Well, hey, thanks a lot for
I enjoyed it. I'm glad you were able to come over, and appreciate it. Thank you.
Perfect. All right, thanks, Eric.
All right. See you guys.